So it actually took quite a bit, but the war is over and the Sands have won. And we're going to hope and see how the game is going to change moving forward. We're on day 28. I haven't seen anything moving forward from this yet, so we'll see what happens. Solving a lot of detective cases. I just got a couple, one or two unsolved homicides. Yeah, you've been working your you-know-what off. Go ahead. Yeah, see, she's just yellow, and it's because we've been working her tirelessly, so yeah, you can go home. Alright, start the day. Okay, well, so far nothing new, so I'll keep plugging away at the days. I know that at first they were the best part, but as I said, they actually get pretty repetitive. Especially since, well, yeah, I'll show you my force real quick. The thing is, I've really developed pretty strong police forces. So here's my, keep in mind, 150 is considered professional and competent. The lowest we've got is 240. I've been paying for them to go to school. I mean, I've basically dedicated my effort to putting together a good team. Because we've been doing so well fighting the crime, even though I've kind of told the mayor to F off on a few of his ridiculous requests, we've gotten every single thing we've asked for, which has just helped us be even more successful. So, as I said, strong team, and we'll see how it goes from there. Oh, and let's see what cases we have. Investigations open? None. I did take down, this was actually like an episode ago, I took down some gang. I don't know if I put that on film or not. Haven't found any more gangs yet. And it's only day 28, and I've been playing for quite a while. And I think it goes to 180, so we'll see how this rolls on. Alright, real quick, if you want to look at the statistics so far. Most of this has been legit money. There's obviously been a few that you saw early on that weren't. So we got some pretty good stats, I would say.
You know when a police chief really feels his power? When he hires and fires people? When he throws folks in jail? When he's bossing everyone around all morning? No, there's no power there. Just bureaucratic red tape. Like directing traffic. Not that it's all bad. No, I feel it the most when people come to me with accusations. Accusations happen outside the law. They don't need to be rational or supported by evidence. They don't petition justice in the careful words of legal formality. No, an accusation is a personal cry, full of resentment or envy, a defeated moan, or an angry howl. The accuser rarely imagines you'll share their resentment, their envy, their hatred. No, but they do imagine that your love of power is so strong that you'll leap to decide the fates of others, happy just to take someone's word for the facts. Businessmen accuse the gangsters blame our public figures denounce politicians, the politicians point to the businessmen. When it comes to accusation, there's only one rule. Don't aim too high. If you overestimate your own importance, then complaining can cost you your life. So choose the easier path, exaggerate as far as you can, and try to make your plea sound as sad and pathetic as possible. The accusation I received today sure didn't fit the normal mold. After killing Vikas Varga and routing his supporters, Sand further strengthened his already powerful authority. Even a month ago, anyone coming out against Sand would sound like a lunatic with a death wish. Today, it's the same thing as suicide. But the letter I'm holding in my hands directly connects Henry Sand, lieutenant of the Sand Mafia family, to the reported death of successful banker John Pazzi. Henry has a daughter, Marianne, a dancer, and apparently it all started with her. One day, Marianne danced in the title role of a production of Giselle, and Henry, proud father that he is, brought the whole family to the premiere, along with some of the family's business partners. Among their guests was the young banker John Pazzi. He couldn't keep his eyes off Marianne, but she ended up brushing him off. In response, Pazzi ambushed her one night after rehearsal, pulled her into his limousine, and had his way with the poor girl. After that, gentleman that he was, he drove the girl home and threatened that if she told anyone what happened, her mother would get the same treatment. But her father still managed to shake the truth out of Mary Ann, and he decided to take his revenge. Of course, Henry knew he couldn't just go with his instincts and put a bullet in Potsy in broad daylight. The rich bastard was too important for business, and Henry is neck deep in the family business, overseeing transportations for the Sand Mafia. He knew about every delivery delay, every car, and every shop. It was mostly thanks to Henry that the whole sand operation rolls so smoothly. Henry has free access to all their off-book cars, and a tar-black motive. Yeah, he could easily arrange the death of John Potsy as a drunken, late-night hit-and-run. But Henry Sand is smarter than that. If this story about Potsy is true, he'd more likely go to the boss and ask permission. I'd have figured this letter the ramblings of a retired gangster looking to spice up his life with little excitement. The way the letter started, "My dear little old cupcake," I had every mind to toss it in the trash. But something else got my attention. They're rarely ever signed, but this one ended Robespierre, and I doubt it's an imposter. No one would go against the most powerful group in the city, hoping to hide behind the name of some prankster clown. Like everyone else, I had no idea who Robespierre was or what he wanted. But there was no doubt that this guy was more than a little crazy. An arrogant psychopath. Could be dangerous. Definitely worth looking into.
Just a reminder, in case you forgot, he's the one that was doing pranks and stuff at the very beginning of the game. Alright, the plot thickens, and I tell you what, I definitely think the guy deserved to get it, but you do it through the justice system. And never forget, Sand is the bad guy. Sometimes you gotta work with what you got, but he's still the bad guy, so if we can take this and take him down, I'm going for it. So, sweet. I'm gonna keep driving on, and once again, stop in when something important happens.
Oh, Jack, you always come back so late.
What's wrong? Bad news?
Good news, Jack. Laura is ready.
Ready how? She's coming back? When?
Not that fast, Jack. Laura's ready to talk. But if she's ready to talk, she's getting ready to come back. You just need to find the right words. You can find the right words, right, Jack?
I'm not an idiot.
I didn't ask for this, Jack. It's the middle of the night, and I'm alone on an old farm, 40 minutes away from anywhere, sat on a creaky porch, and now I'm getting snapped at. I came here so you could personally promise me that you'll be able to find the right words. So let's try again. You can find the right words, right, Jack?
I can find the right words, Mrs. Markham.
That's good to hear. Tomorrow night at 3 o'clock at the Octopus Restaurant. You know it?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
it's
we've
closed
solved
at
how many
9.
crimes
Oh,
there?
I've arranged for them to be open. Don't be late. But don't come too early either.
Mrs. Markham,
Yeah?
I should probably offer you some tea or something before you go.
Do you have any tea?
No.
Good night, Jack.
That's pretty funny. Let's see if anything interesting happens. Red cat. Okay, whatever that means. Alright, check in when something interesting happens again.
According to Mrs. Markham, I was supposed to spend all day thinking up the right words. But to my surprise, I did my best work when I shut my head off. I didn't even want to think why Laura decided we'd meet at 3 o'clock in the morning, and in a restaurant we'd never gone to. I didn't know what to tell her, and something tells me she's no more ready for this meeting than I am. By nightfall, I finally stopped worrying. The right words would come when they were needed. And if they don't come at all, then so be it. I've heard said when you're knocked out by a single blow, you don't have time to feel any pain. Well, that's a lie. It's painful as hell. Every day I spent in that coma, the pain was unbearable.
That's some fucked up shit. Oh, what is this? I don't know what this is, by the way. What the heck? Alright, I don't know what's up with this, but sure. I lose. Okay, sure. So I guess we're gonna advance forward.
Yeah, I heard about that already. But what if they decide to spill it to the papers? We need to start thinking now about covering our asses. I know people who can deal with this, but they'll need at least a week. Plus, if we want to...
Lieutenant Stat, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I have Jack Boyd on the line.
Who?
Jack Boyd, sir. He's calling from the hospital.
Gibson, I'll call you back. Don't do anything without my team. Jack, well, wow. I didn't know you were awake. Doctor said you could be in that coma for months, even years. How are you feeling?
Tell me who's in control, Martin.
I don't think I follow you.
For God's sake, Martin, tell me it's you running the department and not some stooge from the mayor's office.
Yes, Jack. I am performing the duties of the police chief, but the new man's coming on Saturday, Kevin Paulson.
Kevin Paulson?
Yes, it's the guy from the...
I know who Kevin Paulson is. Now listen carefully, Martin. I'm coming back to work. I'm Freeburg's police chief, and it's going to stay that way for another 4 months. Now you get on the phone and do whatever needs to be done. You run into any problems, threaten them with the media, court, or blackmail. But I don't think they'll give you any trouble. The mayor knows it's easier to just wait until the winter than deal with a scandal. Oh, and assemble a press conference.
Listen, Jack, I know the truth is on your side, but you have to take into account...
Martin, how long since you transferred to my department?
Coming up on 5 years now.
How many times in the last 5 years have you come to my birthday party? How many times have you come to the farm when I had the boys over?
Never had the pleasure, but...
Never. Because you couldn't care less. And I don't care for you either, Stat. It wasn't me who appointed you deputy, and you wouldn't have been my first choice.
Damn, that's crazy.
But if you do ever come over to my house, you won't miss the big hole in my backyard. Garbage pit. You know, for old rubbish. A smelly hole filled with rotten furniture and other crap. So, Stat, if I even for a moment doubt your devotion, you'll go straight into that pile of trash. Maybe you'll get to catch up with some old friends. You remember Kendrick, don't you?
I'll schedule the press conference for tomorrow, all right, Jack?
The day after tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm going shopping.
So the plot thickens. I'm sorry if I was a little quiet there for a second. I didn't realize the microphone was away from my mouth. What? Okay. Okay. Or someone who just doesn't give a flying rat's ass, which is what would happen if my wife tried to knock me off. Thank you, I know exactly what I want. do I want? I don't like any of these. Those are all horrid. Well, red and black, so yellow makes the most sense, but these are all horrid looking glasses. Alright. This is taking an interesting turn into a new direction.
No, that would be too much.
Okay, thank God. Oh, I'm glad you realized that.
Wow, Jack, what's with the outfit? You planning on...
The pit in the backyard, Martin. Always remember about the pit in the backyard.
Don't talk to anyone before the press conference starts. I'll try to get you on stage quickly. Kevin Paulson is here. He wanted to...
Jack! I hardly recognize you. That's quite an image for a man like you. An old dog with a new trick, right? We should see each other more often. How long has it been?
Last time I saw you, I fired you, Kevin.
Ha! You mean the day I resigned in protest over the corruption and lawlessness at your police department, right?
Yeah, repeat that shit often enough, someday you might start believing it.
You know, Jack, I'm glad that everything turned out so well. Unlike you, I've made good use of the past 7 years. My new construction company keeps getting jobs from the city, and we're doing really well. I have a new house, new hobbies, even a new wife. Maybe you've met her. Shelley Rogers.
Oh, Shelley Rogers. So you really are in bed with the mayor.
It's a dream come true. All my dreams have come true. Only one thing remains. To bring order to the Freeburg Police Department.
You being serious, Kevin?
I'm serious as ever, Jack. I'm the most serious man you know.
It's not often you see the past and the future Freeburg police chiefs at the same press conference. I hope you have time to talk, Kevin. There's something we need to discuss. Jack, the reporters are waiting for you.
Kevin doesn't know what he's getting himself into. If only it were so easy, right? We found out the first time we played. It ain't so easy.
My retirement plan somehow just got turned into a circus. Fortunately, I'm pretty good at swallowing swords and jumping through burning hoops. They all seem to like it.
Alright, this is a little interesting. What? Oh, that's not good. Alright, Will. The sheriff's back in town, and he's don't give a buck.
Impressive recovery, Mr. Boyd. I'm still not happy about how soon you're back to work. Well, not happy as your doctor. As a resident of Freeburg, I'm immensely grateful for it.
Really?
Just don't tell anyone, or they'll pull my license.
Well, thank you again for coming to see me at night.
Oh, well, whatever you need, Mr. Boyd. Any doctor in this town would come running any hour, day or night, you can believe me. You're not suffering from headaches. It says here that you are taking painkillers after a back injury. But the prescribed dose is enough to...
Dr. Kraczynski, you trust me?
And, sorry?
Do you trust me?
In what way, Mr. Boyd?
You think I'm an honest and reasonable man, Doctor?
You're joking, Mr. Boyd. Thanks to you, my wife finally agreed to buy a house here, and we've decided to have children. Thanks to you, I'm not afraid to visit my patients at night. I think you are the most honest and reasonable person in the city, Mr. Boyd.
Great. You see, Dr. Kraczynski, I'm an addict.
Mr. Boyd, is...
Well, not a drug addict in the way you might imagine. I'm not some weak-willed junkie. Sometimes I stay clean so long that the tablets stay locked in the barn so long they go past the expiration date. But there are less pleasant stories.
You know what? Let's...
I once took a whole bottle right there in the barn. Passed out in my own vomit. I almost choked. I fought the convulsions, somehow managed to break 4 ribs. For 2 weeks, my chest was so sore I wanted to die. But for those 2 weeks, I kept swallowing pills. Couldn't stop.
If you want, I could...
I once took a dose right before a party at home. My wife Laura had some old friends over from college. I didn't take that many, maybe 5 or 6 pills, but it felt like I'd taken a few hundred.
Jesus.
I passed out while I was carrying a tray of drinks.
Yeah, I imagine.
On the way down, I knocked over a set of Laura's scented candles. The house almost burned down. The repairs took a good chunk from our savings.
Mr. Boyd, if you'll allow me, I'd just...
As you can see, Doctor, I'm well aware of the seriousness of the situation and the possible consequences. But sometimes I need the pills. I don't use the word lightly. Sometimes I've got to work on cases with more energy than I've got. I can't do it without them. And I know you want me doing my job. So tomorrow I want you to come here and bring me some tablets. Lots of tablets. 10 bottles. No, better 15. Yeah, 15 bottles. The next 3 months are going to be extremely difficult, Doc.
Dude.
I would like to discuss your...
You'll bring the pills, Doctor?
Yes, Mr. Boyd. Yes.
Very good. Look, I don't want to trouble you any further. I bet your family doesn't like you running away with me at night. I'd bet they'd rather I was still in that coma.
Man, it just gets darker and darker. Let's see if anything interesting happens now. Oh yeah, you got a new car. Oh yeah, let me show you. You got a new car and a new tape deck. This part of his, I guess, newborn man or whatever. All right, well, I'll do today. We haven't done a police day in a while, I guess. So we'll do one. Sure, why not? Because I've actually been playing for quite a while. What might seem so far to be fairly quick. It's been a while. It's been a good part of the day so far, just for this episode. We're still only at day 60. Some random gang known as the Sands. We know who the Sands are. Now the cool thing is one of the guys we caught as part of our detective stuff that we saw in the cutscene. We saw the cutscene. We caught Henry Sand. So we'll have to loosen his tongue. Proceed. More likely they'll start to suspect something's wrong. I don't care. Interrogates. Alright, let me read through this and I'll be back. Almost forgot to turn the camera on. Alright, so you can tell from the thing that his weak points are obviously family. He's definitely a tough guy. So we don't want to try and out-tough him. Alright, so family. Yep, his daughter's obviously a weakness of his. Which as well she should be. It's not a complaint. Or looking down on him for it. Mine's probably my only real weakness too. Alright, think about... Alright, yep, once again, I'm not gonna tough guy him. So we don't want to tough guy him. This is a tough one. Because this is what I want to pick. But trying to belittle him is not going to work. Let's try this one. Ooh. Interesting. Alright. Start to investigate. Yeah, my thought was have him, because we know he doesn't skim. I didn't want to tough guy him because the whole thing said you can tough guy him, and he was really didn't want to skim. So the people he would be most likely to rat out would be the people who did skim. So I'm putting everybody I got on this. Number one priority, we're taking down the mob. Alright, I'll let it run, I guess, for this one day, see what happens. Oh yeah, where do we need them? We got shift A1. Alright, let me handle this real quick, I'll be back. Alright, think I've got that all sorted out. Homicide, those are always not fun. Let me approach it. Jesus. Well, I'm not saying you deserve to get murdered over it. At the same time, not real bright, kiddos. Alright, let's see. Let's send out somebody experienced with one of our newbies here. Try and get him to man up a bit, or woman up, or whatever.
It's 11 in progress.
Quiet, then hear something about laundry detergent, bleach, and some music. Okay. I don't know what that is. Let's get to it. Either a false alarm or some pretty crazy... what's be happening, I'm thinking. Alright, we'll read this later. We don't have any frames, so there's no point in diving into it right now. Jeez. Gotta watch out for them cray-crays. Yeah, this is where the experience is really it really helps. We're not having to send 4 officers to a scene and that kind of stuff. Whereas if we had a bunch of low experienced guys, we'd be probably fine. That's what I kind of figured. But better safe than sorry.
113 progress.
Jeez. Kids in this town are crazy. I did some crazy stuff in my teens, but I don't want to say nothing illegal, but nothing like that. Nothing I'd have gone to jail over, we'll put it that way. Call the exorcist. Oh, I'm so tempted, but no. Why does that Pruitt sound familiar? That sounds really familiar for some reason. I feel like I've heard that name before. I'm calling an ambulance because he sounds rabid. Knock on the door and step to one side. Yep. I ain't going in there. Oh, he got away. Well, I wasn't trying to get bit. No rabies for me, thank you. Yeah, see, this is the kind of stuff I help the mayor with. Like, this is legit, you know? This is why he doesn't hate my guts. I just blow him off on the stuff that's just, you know, really racist or sexist or anything in between. Maybe I should have called the Exorcist stuff. Now I'm thinking about it. Oh, this game does have some humor sometimes, so it's pretty funny. Massive fight. That means we need the paddy wagon. Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. What's in our best 4? Oh, we've got some backup for any major issues. What exactly are these guys doing? Did I miss something? Because it doesn't look like they're coming home. Oh! I'm being retarded. Yeah, I just sent them to the frickin' mayors. So.
311 complete. 214 in progress.
Well, we got an open window outside. I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it's okay. At the same time, if you're stripping naked in front of a window, yeah. I mean, I might have misread that somewhere, but maybe the guys. I mean, think about it. Look at it from a crazy man's perspective, not from a normal person's perspective. From a crazy man's perspective, is it completely out of line for him to think that they're doing it just for him and coming on to him, and he's just returning the favor? I mean, I'm just throwing that idea out there. All right, anyways. Well, we shall see, I guess.
Got a situation here.
Herself or himself? Now I'm confused. Man, they really... The game hasn't been quite this humorous before. Join the guy. Oh my god. Grab the man by the arm and throw him into the patrol car. He can't get all sad because he's naked.
214 complete.
That is actually, the game has not been quite that humorous before, so I'm glad I actually recorded this one.
311A in progress.
Okie dokie. I'm just gonna send 2. I'll send our best 2, including good old Bakarica. He's the man. So they should be able to handle it, I hope.
113A complete.
That's what I figured. Alright, open investigation. Muy interesante. Alright, still not enough to do anything with. Yoink. I gotta admit that this game is a lot longer than I thought it was gonna be. And it's kind of too long. I mean, I like this whole thing, but it gets a little tedious after a while. We're just kind of like, all right, let's get on with the story now. But I mean, I get it. I mean, there is a limited timeline, and I think there's a lot to do. So let's just I've read the payoff is worth it, so we'll find out. But as I said, I'm not going to keep showing each one of these. I will go through them so that you don't have to. So I'll see you in a bit. This is right afterwards.
Mr. Boyd, I'm going home. Do you need anything?
Oh, no, don't go. I need to talk to you. I won't keep you long. I just need to make one phone call and I'll be right out, okay?
Of course, Mr. Boyd.
do you know what time it is?
I didn't mean, well, maybe I did. Guess I'm a son of a bitch.
Jack? Good Lord, Jack, I wanted to talk to you.
I feel like I got hit over
Was
the head
wondering
with
if
an
you'd
iron.
call. How do you feel?
I'm good, Mrs. Markham. Better than ever. The back pain is gone, the insomnia is gone, my hair is growing back, and my pathological indecisiveness seems to have run off somewhere.
Jack, if you think I had anything to do with that...
I'll waste no more time trying to think, Mrs. Markham. Every second counts. There's a lot to do. And one of those things is finding Laura.
Jack, your tone is scaring me.
Good. Turns out I have a knack for that. Scaring people. So, Mrs. Markham, I'm going to look for my wife, and if you somehow get in my way, I'll send a special squad to your house. First they'll throw your dog in the fire, then they'll arrest you for prostitution.
What? What the prostitution?
Sometimes it's necessary to invent charges. It's not like I can arrest you for being an unbearable bitch.
Damn.
Emma, I
He's
need a
not gonna
detective.
take it anymore, I guess.
Oh, of course, Mr. Boyd. What shift?
No, not one of ours. A private detective.
Oh.
I know that when your father stole your mother's jewelry and left her, you hired a private investigator. You didn't go to the police.
You know, Mr. Boyd, it was a family problem, and we felt that it would...
I understand perfectly, Emma. You don't need to explain anything. I'm in a similar situation. As you might have heard, my wife left the house. She's missing, you could say.
I'm not sure what you're...
I know you've heard all about it. I want her found, but I don't want the department involved. Same reason you didn't. So I decided to hire your private detective. Think you can arrange it?
Oh, of course, Mr. Boyd. I'll call him and arrange everything. And don't worry, he'll keep it a secret.
Fine. What do you need from me?
Well, just gather all the information that might be useful and put it in an envelope, bring it to me, and I'll take it to him.
Good. Okay, take the day off tomorrow and get a good night's sleep. The day after tomorrow, I'll have that envelope for you.
Homeboy, he's not gonna take it anymore, which is pretty cool. All right, we'll check in a bit. We'll check in a bit.
All the information about Laura, just like you asked.
Mr. Boyd, keep your voice down. Someone could be listening.
Oh, I'm sorry, Emma. It's my first time doing something like this. Here's the envelope. Everything's in there.
Fine. Mr. Boyd, please write for Mr. Fry on this envelope and drop it in the mailbox across the street.
What? I don't want this handled like it's some kind of game.
Mr. Boyd, those are the rules. Now please lower your voice.
Fine. Okay, Emma. I'll put this envelope in the mailbox across the street, just like you said. Wonder how that damn Mr. Fry is going to get an envelope out of the mailbox.
Talking to yourself, Mr. Boyd? And we thought we'd have to catch you at the police station. But it turns out Jack Boyd has come down to meet us personally. Do you know why we're here, Mr. Boyd?
I don't even know who you are.
My name is Eugene Chaffee. I'm a businessman. Rather, a restaurateur. Although I usually tell everyone I'm a businessman. Which sounds better? Businessman or restaurateur?
Oh, I think I've heard of you. You have a restaurant and a slaughterhouse. And you serve refried veal steaks.
Well, refried veal steaks isn't my only business, but perhaps it's what I'm best known for. I thought it was time we meet Mr. Boyd, and my friend here. I believe you're already acquainted. His name is Troy Starr.
Never heard of him. So what do you want, Mr. Chaffee? Looking for a spokesman for your beef products? I recently changed my image and my hair.
Eugene and I really want to help you, Mr. Boyd. Although after our phone call, I've had my doubts. I was making love to my wife, and you called me and told me to fuck myself. That kind of behavior is rude and inappropriate, Mr. Boyd.
I didn't mean to offend you, Mr. Starr. Just thumbing my nose at that prick mayor of ours. You keep making love to your wife, or did I ruin the mood?
There's a nice cafe around the corner. Spare us a couple of minutes of your time, Mr. Boyd. Lately, I've been so busy that I rarely get to sit and relax in such a nice place, and with such interesting company.
Get to the point, Mr. Chaffee. I'm busy too. In fact, I think I hear some teenagers next door robbing and raping an old woman. Maybe she's your aunt.
You see, Mr. Boyd.
Good morning. What do you want?
A big mug of beer.
We don't serve big mugs of beer.
Then a small mug of beer.
We don't have beer in any size glasses. This is a family restaurant. Moms and dads come with small children. I can bring you a lollipop to suck on.
Monica, where's your famous charm? Bring the gentleman a beer. I'm sure you've got a bottle under the counter. Check between the dead cats and the dried heads of your ex-boyfriends. This man, by the way, is your police chief.
Don't be silly. The police chief has a bald spot the size of a toilet seat.
So, as I was...
Oh, I'm sorry, Eugene. It's Rogers. Probably forgot how to wipe his ass.
When you're 82, Troy, you'll probably forget you need to wipe your ass at all. But very well, run along. We can continue without you. So, Mr. Boyd, as you may already know, the official job of my old friend Mr. Starr is to cause trouble for you. But believe me, it's not out of malice. It's to maintain his cover at City Hall. But to somewhat balance out this trouble, I've decided to help you out. Every day, pay close attention to your morning newspaper, Mr. Boyd. You'll find messages hidden among the pages. Simple notes, but make no mistake, the information you'll find there is extremely useful. You see, Troy Starr isn't my only spy. That's it, Mr. Boyd. I told you it would only take a couple of minutes. I wouldn't want to disturb you while you're enjoying your drink. Keep in touch, my dear little cupcake. Oh, yes, I'm quite good at puns.
Cupcake. Alright, it's the prankster dude, I'm thinking.
Never imagined what meeting Robespierre would be like. But I certainly didn't figure the first thing he'd do is buy me a drink. Getting them to serve a beer at a family cafe? And this Robespierre has some strange superpowers. Strange, but not entirely useless.
Well, it looks like we might have get the chance to take down the mayor too. That would be some good stuff. Your neighbor. It's called your neighbor, buddy. You can handle that off duty. Seriously, what would your boss say if you came in and asked him that? Not only no, but he'd look at you like you were freaking nuts. Alright, I'll be back in a bit. Okay, this is new. What the fuck? No. I don't know who you are, but not only no, but hell no. Okay, this one's weird. Alright, I guess things are finally starting to get interesting again, which is good. Okay, so this is interesting and I think new. Now, granted, I was looking for something, but I've never noticed this before. Don't know exactly what this means, but we shall take note and move forward from there. Let's heads up, Mr. Sand is at us again. Want us to not interfere with stuff, but it looks like it's just quote robbery. So we'll let it happen, I suppose. While we're gonna play nice until we fucking take a crowbar right into his back. But that's still a ways to go. And I mean a figurative crowbar, because we're going to take him down. All right, so here's the next note. Don't know what it means yet. Hopefully we'll find out.
What's this, Martin? Think that'll cover breakfast?
Good Lord, Jack. You should knock.
Don't worry, Martin. I don't care what kind of business you're up to. Although on second thought, scratch that. I'm very interested in your business. In fact, that's why I'm here. You have a lot of connections?
Depends on what you need.
I want to keep my job. I've got another 5 years in me at least. I want to prove my dismissal is illegal. You know someone who can help?
Jack, are you sure you want to get involved in this fight?
Martin, let's not,
Got yourself a new toy?
Oh, you noticed, Martin. Just like a teenager, always on the move. Yeah.
Hello. Is this Mr. Boyd?
Last I checked, who's this? And where did you get my personal number?
When you work at the prosecutor's office, it's not too hard to find someone's phone number.
The prosecutor's office? Just a second. Martin, out. I need to take this.
Get out of your office.
But Jack, it's my office. Okay, I understand. I'll go grab an ice cream. As for your little problem, Jack, I think we can work something out. Give me a couple of weeks.
Weeks?
Jack, what you're asking is...
Yeah, okay, I get it. Now get out already. I'm sorry, what'd you say your name was?
My name is Lana Berman. I'm the deputy prosecutor of Freeburg. Well, one of the deputies. Not even the first deputy, to tell you the truth.
How can I help you, Miss Berman?
I don't know how to say this, Mr. Boyd. You see, Mr. Boyd, I'm in line to be the next prosecutor of Freeburg, and apparently that's happening quite soon.
Soon? Shea Broom was just re-elected for a new term.
Yes, but she'll be resigning in February. She's suffering from a heart condition, so she's chosen a replacement to carry out her term, and she chose me. You have no idea of the scandal, Mr. Boyd. I've only been at the prosecutor's office for half a year, and she chose me. It's incredible.
New blood.
That really is unbelievable, Miss Berman. But what's it got to do with me?
Well, I understand how this call would seem strange to you, Mr. Boyd, but Mrs. Broom said she said that you have a lot going on, but you're the most honest official in the city. And if I really want to change the city for the better, and I swear that's what I want, then I should meet you.
I'm afraid Mrs. Broom was exaggerating.
Oh, believe me, Mr. Boyd, Mrs. Broom is not one to exaggerate. I'm sorry, Mr. Boyd, I need to run. Do you mind if I call you later?
Do I mind? Let me think. No, I don't mind, Miss Berman.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Boyd.
He said, I think I found a replacement for Laura, or whatever the heck our wife's name was. See, we've already forgotten. That's too funny. Just heads up, looks like we found some other gang member. I don't know where exactly we caught him, apparently last night. So, let's see what the gang looks like. Not too big a gang. $35,000 reward, though, so... Hoorah, that's the motivation. I think we'll be taking this one down. Here's his file for anybody who wants to read it. I'll leave it up for a second. Alright. Okay, so let's proceed to his interrogation based off what we read. Play nice cop first, I guess. Who did you deliver rugs for? Okay, so we already know you're in with Dante Gambino. He worked for you or the other way around? They bailed you out of here. Okay. Oh, that was pretty easy. And so, Dante, Hi, Dante. Next. Oh, I don't have any leads. Oh, alright, I'm gonna have to take some people off the Mafia case, I guess. Fuck. Priority's still the Mafia case, but I don't want to just drop this. So I'll handle that and see you in a bit. Alright, I think I'm gonna call it right now for here. I'm gonna take a break from the game for a bit. I do like it, I think it's great, but I'm playing it non-stop. I just need a break. I will get back to it. In fact, I still have not forgotten about Vampire Masquerade Bloodlines. Believe it or not, it's in the back of my head that I need to get back and start finishing that up too. Some of these longer games, like when I was a kid, I could just go non-stop. But yeah, I need a break. So I'm gonna move back on. Probably do another Hearts of Iron or something, and get back to this here later. Without further ado, Mac out.